Hi, hello, welcome back. Long time no see. Welcome to my bedroom. I'm going to sleep soon, but before I do, I wanted to share a little quick video with you. So I'm going to do a little challenge for me. I've been in a little reading slump recently. I haven't read much. I've read a couple of books, which were kind of good, and I think after them I just wanted to continue reading. So I thought, what is the best way to do in this case? Probably marathon. So I decided to do 24 hours reading marathon. So I have a couple of books that I need to read during this 24 hours, need and want to read during this 24 hours. I want to introduce them, all of you, all of these books, so you'll know what to expect. So yeah, prepare to meet the first book of the marathon. It's a memoir by Ai Weiwei, which is called 1000 Years of Joys and Sorrows. As you might see, I've already started. Yeah, I covered like 4 chapters. So yeah, so far so good. I'm enjoying it. I learned a lot about like Chinese history, Japanese history, and obviously the story of Ai Weiwei's family. The next book that I want to read, I'm not even sure if I can consider like a novel or something or a book, but still, it has a book form. So it's let's say it's an essay. It's an essay by Isaiah Berlin, The Hedgehog and the Fox. So it's kind of like a discourse about the philosophy of Leo Tolstoy, on history and how we perceive history. And since I really enjoyed War and Peace last year, I wanted to, expand my understanding by reading a little bit of literary criticism or philosophy criticism, whatever you call it. So I decided to pick this one. As you might also notice, I also started, but I never finished it. So I thought, like, yeah, maybe that's the chance finally to get ready with that. The next one is I also already started, and that is book in Russian, yet the original language is French. So it is by Gustave Flaubert, and as you might guessed already, it's Madame Bovary. So yeah, it's a story about the it's actually quite interesting. It is called Madame Bovary, yet we meet probably the main character, Madame Bovary, only at like 5th, 6th chapter. So I'm really curious where it goes. Really excited. I like the style, I like the writing, I like its kind of realism. So I'm really excited about this book. And it's pretty big, I would say, but again, it's in Russian, so it will be easy for me to read. That's the third one. And the last book I have as a backup plan. So just in case if I, for some reason, somehow will manage to read all the 3 books, then I have this. It's a Stephen King Misery. So, and because I never read Stephen King before, I thought, well, yeah, okay, let's do it. Let's start with Misery. And because we are approaching Halloween and, this mysterious month of October and November, I thought, yeah, maybe it's time to read something, atmospheric, something that is inclined to this season, so to say, which I usually don't do, but yeah, why not? I'm in the reading slum. I can do whatever I want. And again, it's a marathon, but it's a backup book. I might not even actually get to it, but even though I hope I'll read it anytime soon. So that's it for now. Yeah, I'm going to compile all the videos about my marathon in this video, as you might already guessed, and yeah, I'll see you very, very soon. Hey, good morning. It's the October 20th, and it's about 11 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to begin my readathon So you already know about my plans. So I started around 11 and I'm going to finish at around 11 next day. I will be stopping for like sleeping, making yoga, and eating, but apart from that, I'm planning dedicate myself to reading. Just a little update. I've just finished reading 1000 Years of Joys and Sorrows by Ai Weiwei, and it took me about 7 hours to finish the book, which is fine, but I think I cheated a little bit because, I had like an advantage, let's say, because I am very familiar with his artworks and with his life story. I've read a couple of books, not written by him, but by curators or different, writers. So I knew some of the stories, let's say. So for me, it was just a great refreshment, and his personal intake to his life. Which is, I think, very great. And I would recommend this book if you want to learn more about one of the most important contemporary artists of our generation. And it's a great start. I'm looking forward to the books that are coming next. But yeah, that was a good one. Despite the fact that I knew some of the facts about his life and his artworks, I learned a couple of things about his life. So some of that was new to me, especially at the beginning, like the story of his family and the story of his father, which always shortly mentioned in his description, in the description of his, let's say, art or life. Um, and so for me, it was absolutely new information and I enjoyed it greatly. So yeah, so far so good. Let's continue. It's 10 p.m. Have finished another book, and I feel tired. The last one was probably a mistake because I thought it's a small essay, yet it is a very philosophical one. So I spent, yeah, almost 3 hours, excluding the little break for dinner, um, just trying to understand what's going on here. So I'm not sure if I actually understood it completely. So basically, Isaiah Berlin writes a literary criticism on historical views of Leo Tolstoy. Um, it's actually quite interesting that he puts Leo Tolstoy in the philosophical context, comparing him and his ideas with the philosophers of the 19th century. And It is very important, I think, especially for those who study history and if you want to understand how the philosophy of history has been developed. However, um, it was just, I'm not sure if I understood that completely or like the whole essay. Some of the things that were just uh, too far from my understanding, let's say. Another interesting point that he did in his essay, well, it's actually, by the way, it's not like a regular essay. It was originally a series or a lecture or a series of lectures conducted by Isaiah Berlin in Oxford. And then it was converted and a little bit widened to this little book. And so the second point, now back to the book itself, the second interesting perspective that he suggests is that Tolstoy, while writing the War and Peace novel, he was reading extensively a French philosopher and writer whose name is Joseph de Maistre. Well, yeah, I butchered that name probably. But anyway, so it is an interesting observation because, like in the Russian literary criticism, I've never heard this name. Like, I never heard a comparison of Tolstoy and Maître and their ideas. Yet apparently, Tolstoy was reading him during writing War and Peace, and also he requested, I think, one of his friends to obtain access into letters and diaries of this French philosopher. So yeah, and that was a very interesting insight. I never knew about that. So yeah, anyways, I finished this book. I'm glad I did it because it was a long time since I put it on my TBR and I never actually managed to read it, and only the beginning. So I'm gladly put it back on the shelf and continue with the next book after a short yoga break. And the next one is Madame Bovary by Flaubert. So yeah, let's go. Hi, good morning. So this is my finishing line of a readathon. I yesterday before I went to sleep, I managed to read just I don't know, 20 or 30 pages of Madame Bovary, and I was so tired and I fell asleep. So, but I still have 2 hours before the end of the readathon. So yeah, let's see how much I can manage. Most probably I will not finish the book, but still I'll make some progress. And what's important, the result or the process? The process, of course. So yeah, I'll see you very soon. Okay, hi, once again. So it's about 11 o'clock and I'm officially finished with the readathon. I can't say I was successful. I am slightly disappointed in my results, but still, it's a great way to come back to reading after reading Slump. So yeah, so as a result, I've read completely the memoir by Ai Weiwei. I've read this literary criticism by Isaiah Berlin, and finally well, actually, I went through half of Madame Bovary, which is, it's a great progress. I really enjoyed the story. To be honest, I didn't know what was that about, and I decided to read it only because it was recommended in it's like a reading list before reading Ulysses. So because Flaubert was at that time a very influential author, and apparently James Joyce was kind of influenced by him, and so some of the influencers, bloggers, literary critics recommend to read him before reading Ulysses. So I thought, yeah, maybe I should do that. I'm glad I picked that book because, well, I was surprised. What is it about? It is a story about a woman, and actually in the beginning I was a little bit confused. I didn't know which exactly. But then yeah, at the end of the second part of this book, it was kind of clear who is the main character. And yeah, I really enjoyed the idea I'm in like at the end of the second chapter, or the second part, I'm sorry. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited about this book because it is a very unusual take into the life of a woman of that time. So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So yeah, but anyways, the readathon is over, and I'm really happy I did that. I never tried that before. I'm not that happy about my results, but you know, maybe the next one will be even more productive. And again, it was a great way to getting out of reading slump. So yeah, thank you very much for being with me and experience that thing with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.